Now for our summer series. We visit Belgium's coast, where the Beaufort Triennale for Contemporary Art is underway. Wind and weatherproof art on the sea.
Here on the Belgian coast, there's a constant stiff breeze. And every 3 years, there's an open-air art show named after the scale used to measure wind force, Beaufort. It's a storm of art on the seaside. So we've turned toward the wind to take a trip along the North Sea coast of Flanders. Our first stop is Olnetop, an 8-meter sculpture on the beach at Ostend. It brings to mind splashing waves. Here we meet its creator, Belgian artist Nick Eervink. He's known for his yellow sculptures and his yellow shoes.
The sculpture was completely designed in computer. And then I decided the shape doesn't work on its own. So I added the legs on it, so it gets much more like a sort of creature that is like walking over the night, over the dunes. It's like almost the sort of a creature that escaped from a painting of Dali.
Nearby, earless dogs keep watch over a few wrecked cars. A puzzling work. Some here don't pay attention to the open-air art. Others have come especially to see it. And for some, the works simply provide an interesting place to play.
I have geen mond. I have one dick.
All of the artworks can be reached by means of the coastal tram. It's the world's longest tramway, stretching 69 kilometers from the French to the Dutch borders of Belgium. Our next stop is the beach at Wenduine, where the work Sandworm is nestled in the dunes. The wickerwork structure is made of thousands of willow branches woven together. It seems as though it's always been here, although everyone knows it would never survive an autumn storm.
It's very special. It creates a typical atmosphere. I like it, I don't know. It's nice the way the light comes in.
The artworks remain on display for 6 months. Then most of them disappear. Some remain, however, like this cross between a digger and a Gothic church from 2003. Art as landmarks along the Flanders coast.
If you visit the 4th edition of Beaufort this summer, you can also see already 18 artworks that stayed along the Belgian coast, because we want to have this permanent sculpture park. And I think that a large manifestation as Beaufort can be very important to introduce people to contemporary art.
Among the highlights are these social benches by Danish artist Jeppe Hein. They're the most photographed of the open-air artworks. Discovering new ways of sitting. Here we meet tour guide Lenny. She accompanies us to West End, to Latvian artist Ivar Drulle's enormous ear trumpets. Art for the ears rather than the eyes. What does the wind sound like? Or the crashing of the waves? Lenny loves the art exhibition.
Everyone knows that the artworks are on display a short time, but I've never heard a single complaint about the art.
We move on to Zeebrugge, one of Europe's largest ports. From here, cargo is shipped around the world. But these containers stay put. The contents of a household, packed up for a move overseas that never takes place. There's more thwarted wanderlust around the corner. Caravans spliced together, facing in different directions. They won't be going anywhere. But we are, as we head for our last stop, Newport, where an old munitions depot has been turned into a space for reflection and meditation.
I'm very happy to see that people really sit down and take their time, which is always hard in visual arts to to motivate people to spend more than the average 30 seconds with the art piece. So in this case, I feel that people are feel really invited to sit down and quietly have the time passing.
La mer, qu'on voit danser.
A summer of art with wind and waves. Who needs a museum?
A des reflets d'argent, la mer, des reflets changeants